Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another one of my Gay Gamer video podcasts. I want to start with a quick movie review because there was another movie premiere. Did not go to the theater, obviously, but I did watch it on HBO Max, and that was the Mortal Kombat movie. And the trailer had me kind of excited, and I think I might have gotten my hopes up a little high, because I was kind of disappointed by it. I gotta say, I did not like it. It was weird. See, like, I really enjoyed the original Mortal Kombat movie, and I thought, oh, this'll just be like that, but with, like, better CGI, because it's 2021 instead of 1995. So it'll have a bigger budget, better effects, better fight choreography, so this should be an improvement. I did not find it to be an improvement. Obviously, the acting is sketchy. They're not great actors. But because they did cast a lot of actual, instead of casting actors, they seemed to hire actors with martial arts experience, so I expected the fighting to be really good, but then the fight choreography was also a little bit of a letdown. Like, I didn't think it was great. There's some great moments in it, but I wanted some, like, really awesome fight choreography, and I don't feel like I got that. But overall, it wasn't fun. Like, the original Mortal Kombat movie, it has cheesy-ass special effects, it has bad acting, it has a terrible script, it's complete nonsense, but with that one, I feel like they knew what kind of movie they were making, you know? So it's fun. They're having fun. Whereas with this new Mortal Kombat movie, it's too serious, you know? Like, it takes it all very, very seriously, and the problem is that the entire premise is inherently ridiculous. So, they do throw in a little bit of humor and kind of wink at how ridiculous this whole premise of, like, being called to compete in an interdimensional fighting tournament for the fate of the universe or whatever, like, that's ridiculous. And they do wink towards that, but not enough, and everyone treats it, like, very seriously, which in another movie might have been even more hilarious because they treat it so seriously. But somehow it wasn't so serious that it was hilariously bad, but it also wasn't silly enough to be fun. Like, they weren't having fun. And I wanted to have fun. So that was disappointing. But the original still exists, and in fact, I pulled it off the shelf so that I can enjoy it again, because I haven't seen it in a while. And then I was also thinking I would make a nice 90s video game movie double feature, and I'd watch Street Fighter afterwards. But your mileage may vary. I've seen a lot of people online talking about how much they loved it, and their inner child was thrilled, and whatever. So, yay. It didn't work on me. It wasn't good enough to be legit good, and it wasn't bad enough to be so bad it's good. It was just sort of there, and that, to me, is disappointing. But again, I did not go to a movie theater to see this. Maybe if I had gone to see it in, like, IMAX 3D, I would have had a different opinion, but I don't know, I just watched it on my TV. But I did get my second jab, so I am fully vaccinated. Like, in another week and a half, in a week or so, I will be fully vaccinated, and I'm trying to do my part to get the world back to normal. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who are not. There's a distressingly large number of people who are refusing the vaccine, whether through fear or ignorance or willful ignorance, and it's a little distressing. And I don't know if we can achieve herd immunity with that many people refusing to get the vaccine and still passing COVID around, so I don't know. And after I got my shot, I treated myself to a little bit of retail therapy to brighten my mood a little. I purchased the Space Shuttle Discovery Lego set, which came out recently, and I've just been kind of obsessed with the whole time, and just couldn't bring myself to buy it, and then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to get it. It'll make me feel better. It's called retail therapy. Don't judge me. And on the first day, I was originally just going to put together like the first bag or two, but it turned out that the first 3 bags basically made the Hubble telescope that goes inside the Discovery's cargo bay. So I made the Hubble telescope. It's very cool. It has the little, and these little things come up and down, and these rotate, and it's all very cool. And then I've started on the shuttle, but I've only done a few bags of the shuttle, so it only looks like this right now. And the landing gear, won't stay in. So it's all very fragile and just a little base at this point. It's going to be very big. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it, but I will figure that out later. That is not important. What is important is that I am happy when I build it. In gaming news, I didn't do a lot of gaming this week, actually. Wasn't in the mood. But then later in the week, I realized that Sony had put out the Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition as part of the Play at Home promotion. So I was like, oh, well, let me go and get that. And I decided, instead of just adding it to my library, I was going to download it right now and play the Frozen Wilds DLC that I never got around to before. So I installed the game and then restarted my game, which was a little confusing because when I said continue, it started me like with a mission left to go, and I was like, what the hey? And I looked at a walkthrough and I was like, wait, this is the next to last mission. This isn't even the final battle. This is like the setup to the final battle, like what the hey? And I looked at my save games and I saw that I had an earlier save that was the final battle, and I was like, I don't understand. This one's time-stamped afterwards. I don't get it. But when I loaded up my last save from the final battle, that save immediately came up as a pop-up saying, congratulations, you beat the game. And now we're going to actually just rewind you to just before the final battle so that you can, do whatever else you might want to do to collect trophies and things in the game world. I prefer when it, says, okay, it drops you back in the world, and it's just the world after that final battle, and you can just keep continuing. But here, it drops you back before the final battle. And I was just like, oh, that's why it was the mission before the final battle. Gotcha. So I then found where the DLC started, went and started it, and right away ran into trouble. There was a flying machine that came at me, and I was like, damn it, I didn't see it. It saw me before I could hide. So I tried to fight it, but then some more flying machines came in for backup, and then some land machines came in to attack me for more backup, and I was fighting, and for everyone I killed, it seemed like 2 more showed up, and I was like, this is not appropriate. I have not played this game in years. I forgot that Horizon Zero Dawn was from 2017, so literally years. And I ran away. I survived, I ran away. And then I got to the area where you can actually start the Frozen Wilds DLC, and I started through that area. And there was another machine. It was a special machine. I was like, okay, it's just one. It's like, this is a new one. It has like fire powers and whatever, which is weird because it's all icy and stuff, but I guess that's how it keeps warm. And I thought, it's just one machine. I can take it down. I did, but it was a little rough. It was not good. Because basically, I think the only reason that I didn't die is because I'm like level 50, I finished the game, I have like the best armor and the best weapons, I think I have like 3 times the health meter, so like it would deplete, but then it could deplete 2 more times before I would actually die. So, I did use some health items, but then I was okay. So I survived by the skin of my teeth, because I'm just that powerful, but I don't want to brute force my way through this DLC because I don't think that'll be very fun. Because I remember this game was very enjoyable because there were different kinds of machines and you had strategy that you used to defeat them. Like, oh, this one will be weak to fire arrows and then this one will be weak to electricity arrows. Let me hit that part. If I can destroy that part of its body, it won't be able to shoot missiles at me anymore. you know, like that kind of thing. You know, so there was strategy to the combat. The problem is I don't remember it because it was years ago. So basically, I put pause on that, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look some walkthroughs just to read, like, you know, combat hints or tips and tricks or something, so that I can, like, remind myself of how it goes, because the DLC isn't, that assumes that you've already played the game or you're in the middle of the game, so there's not going to be any kind of tutorial or anything. It's just, here, just do this. You know how to do it, don't you? No, because it was years ago. But when they put the sequel out, that'll be fine, because the sequel, that'll be next year, so I won't remember what I've remembered now. I won't remember that next year, but it's a sequel, so it'll start you off at the beginning and walk you through a tutorial, because they can't assume everyone's played the first one, so sequels will always walk you through the basics of combat and the controls and everything. So that'll be fine. And that's next year. And maybe next year, I'll have a PlayStation 5 to play it on. Who knows at this point? You still can't buy the damn thing. Like, is it just me, or is this, like, one of the worst console launches in history? For that aspect of it, I mean. Like, normally, I feel like a console comes out, and everyone who's pre-ordered it gets theirs, and then there's, like, some stock left for the people who are on the fence, or just decided now they wanted one, whatever. And it'll sell out. But then, like, you know, a few weeks later, it comes back in stock, and then, you know, goes back out again. So it can be, like, kind of difficult to get a new console for the first, you know, maybe the first month or two. But I feel like after a few months, like, it's there, and it's available, and you can just go into a store and buy it. But here, I know there's some kind of, I read somewhere, it's like some chip that they have that they can't get enough of, because it's also in smartphones, and they're using them all, so that Sony and Microsoft can't use those chips for their consoles. So they can't make enough for people to sell, which means that the scalpers are coming in and buying them up so they can sell them for twice the price. And it's annoying, because if they could just make more of them, the scalpers would go away, because they wouldn't be able to sell them for twice the price, because then people can just buy them for normal. And then they would go away, and then more people can buy the consoles that want them. It's just super frustrating, and I don't know why this is so difficult. It's been months and months, and it's still really hard to find them. Both of them. Not that I want an Xbox, but, you know, it's the principle of the thing. But I had heard that there was going to be a restock at Best Buy on Friday, so I left a tab open, and while I'm working, every so often, if I had a moment, I would just go over and check, and nothing, go over and check, nothing. Just periodically through the day I kept checking, and it never happened, and apparently it was, like, misinformation, so I'm like, oh, alright, whatever. And so I was kind of upset. I was like, dang it, I still can't get one. And then I was just like, why? Why am I so upset? Because, and I had to remind myself, I'm like, there's literally nothing that is exclusive to the PlayStation 5 that I want to play. Nothing. Everything that I would play on my PlayStation 5 is playable on the PlayStation 4. So, whatever. You don't need a PlayStation 5 to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'd like to, because it'll look a lot prettier and load faster and play better, but I could still get it for my PS4. And at some point, I don't know, there's going to come a day when I'm going to get so frustrated at being unable to buy a fucking PlayStation 5 that I'm going to say, you know what? I'm just going to get Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the PS4 and call it a day so I can just play the fucking game already. Because I don't know when I'm going to get a PS5. Maybe next year when they put out the PSVR 2, and then there will be a PSVR 2 bundle with the PlayStation 5. It'll cost like $1,000, but I'll buy it because nobody else is going to want that, and so that'll be available. I don't know. I'm hoping that Sony and Microsoft can get out of this rut and make some more consoles so that the people who actually want to buy them can buy them, and we don't have to deal with all these scalpers snatching them up, because that is rude. So that's it. Long episode this week. Sorry. I'll see you again next time, and I'll talk about whatever. I'll show you how the shuttle looks then. Maybe I'll be done. No, probably not. But it should look more like a space shuttle then. Bye!